Hey everybody, Barnstormer here, and this is the first ever game I've ever casted, so let's jump right in. So, we have over here on the west is myself. And you may ask, why am I broadcasting my own game? And the answer is quite simple. Like I said, this is the first time I've ever casted, and today is the very first Age of Empires game I've ever played online. So this is the first for me in both categories. So it's going to be rough, both the game and my announcing, but stick with me and we'll see if we have a little fun. Over on the east side is, we're going to call him Oscar. He is also the English, and the map is Boulder Bay. So I've been practicing a lot of my build orders for a couple of civilizations, English being one of them, and I've never really prepared for any type of water map yet, so it kind of threw my build off. But let's just get going and see how it's going. I started out with food and sent some villagers over to wood. Normally I would start on gold right away with my English build order, but I decided to do a dock opening, which was very sloppy. We look over Oscar. He started on some sheep that he found and went right to gold. There I go, finally starting my gold mine. So for any new folks out there, you can go online and find a lot of good build orders, and those build orders will help you get off to a good start. And then from there, you just got to keep practicing and scout your enemies and know what they're building so you know how to respond. So if we go back, and we'll see Oscar is exploring the map right now, as am I. So yeah, I sent a villager out to build a dock, but didn't have enough wood, so we gathered some fish and went back. So like I said, a little sloppy. But hey, it's my first game. Oscar doing the same thing. He's got 11 villagers on food, 2 on gold right now. Maybe a little late getting to wood. Especially if you're English, you're going to want to build a lot of longbows once you get to the feudal age. So yeah, the starting off with the dock when I didn't really practice any of the water maps kind of threw me off. But I've got a modified start of the English build. I've only got 4 on food, and normally you want a lot more on food, 6 or 7 to start off with, but because of the dock, which produces food, I started slow on that. Nazgûr already is starting with the console hall. He's got 6 workers on it, which will get him there faster. But the more villagers you have working on the landmark to advance to the second age, villagers you don't have gathering resources to start getting the benefit of aging up. And like I said, I'm finally starting to get my ships out, which really slowed me down. One of the build orders I follow, one of the great streamers and players is Grubby, and I've been using his one town center English opening, and that usually gets me to the feudal age in about 4.5 to 5 minutes, but the water definitely threw me off. So I didn't get the food as fast as I normally did, so it slowed me down. Luckily, I'm new. My opponent is new, so I didn't really get punished for that, as you will see later. So as you can see, even though Oscar kind of aged up early, he's not taking advantage by starting to produce longbows, which is something you want to be doing. You see I'm doing a good job leading on the resources. And finally there at the 5-minute and 18-second mark, I had enough resources to age up, and you should see me doing that here very shortly. There I go. And normally I try to go up with about 4 villagers, but I forgot to grab one, so I'm just doing 3, so it's going to take a little bit longer. But yeah, I'm starting to really pump out the fishing boats. And still my opponent has not yet made a longbow. Which is definitely not an efficient way to go. I threw up a wall, I don't know why. First online game, I had no idea if I was about to get destroyed or not. So also you can see he's just now starting to put out a dock. So I kind of saw that with my scout and knew that, you know, if I could get up to, once I get up to feudal age, I should be able to pump out a few galleys, I believe, and kind of keep him off the water. If you lose the water, that can really impact your game, because there's so much fish out there, and fishing is a great way to get a lot of food. Yeah, I built this wall, and then I chopped right through it, so pretty worthless wall. Now I'm almost up to feudal, a couple minutes later than I would have liked. And I immediately should start pumping out longbows. Another key to Age of Empires is to constantly be kicking out villagers. I think I'm getting better at that. As long as you can get a steady flow of villagers, you're just going to increase. You're going to increase your resources more and more, and it's just going to help you in the long run. So now I don't think I had quite enough yet for a galley. Probably should have had more villagers on gold if that was my plan. Come the longbows. If we look over at my opponent, he still has not made a longbow. Definitely didn't really know that. I didn't scout the map as well as I should have. As you can see, sticking a scout nearby would have helped me kind of see what he was doing. Oh, there goes my first galley. I'm gonna get rid of those fishing boats. And that was pretty much it. He pretty much just gave up the water after that. See, at the same time, I am pumping out my longbows. I think I'm going to send them out here shortly. I kept him home originally because he got up to feudal so fast that I figured there'd be some coming my way, but they never did. Another key thing to pay attention to is make sure you don't get housed. So you have a population limit here. You can see I just hit that. So each house holds about, each house lets you increase your population by 10. So if you hit your population limit, they call that housed, supply blocked if you're a StarCraft 2 player, and you can't build any more units. As soon as you pop that house down, you can start off again. So I should have probably built 2 or 3 more right away, because I had plenty of wood, and you get in the heat of battle and then you forget to build houses, and then your reinforcements never show up, which is very sad. So there you see Oscar finally starts to pop out some longbows. You see at this point, I have about 37 villagers. My opponent is sitting at about 32 villagers. We're both kind of pumping them out. Here I kind of send my little army in hopes to pick off some villagers. There, I spent way too long being housed there. Very not good. Got some idle villagers as well. But hey, just what we learned. So at this point, he's sending his guys out on a raid, and I don't think he was paying attention because I get several good shots off before he stops and realizes that his guys are under attack. And so at this point, they don't have any upgrades, and I don't have any upgrades. But at some point here, I start researching one of the attack upgrades. I don't think it's at this point yet. But yeah, he did kill my scout, but scout kind of can act as a meat shield, and he took his focus off my archers to kill my scout, which doesn't do a lot of damage. And allowed me to kind of pick them all off. So at this point, I was feeling pretty good. Still sending longbows his way. Yep, and here I'm starting to research Steeled Arrow, which gives my archers a +1 attack. And you can, he starts popping out men-at-arms, but because I am terrible, I do not believe that. Yeah, it's just out of my range. And I start building a tower, and this, the fatal flaw as well, just inside of his range, so he knew I was doing it. One tile over, and I got that thing built. But down goes my villager. He sends his early men-at-arms, which men-at-arms are very good against archers, but this is a feudal men-at-arms, which are not so good. At this point, I have my 7 attack to his 6, so I'm doing more damage to his archers than he's doing to me. That definitely helps keep me alive here. All along, I keep streaming in my longbows. Pretty steady flow. Pretty proud of myself there. So I'm doing 7 attack. His men-at-arms only have 2 armor, so my 7 attack, they're doing 5 damage for each arrow. Men-at-arms definitely get very powerful in later ages. At this point, as you can see, he is floating a lot of wood, but he has no food, so his production pretty much stops here. I can continue to pour in longbows. He finally kind of think he ran out of berries there and started to spam some farms, which English have really good farm production. But that allowed me to get some more guys here. I kind of stopped building for some reason as well, but my goal is to bring an archer in there and finish this tower at least. He keeps rallying these abilities men-at-arms one at a time. Keeps rallying them right to my bows, which is not good. That's how you learn. Learn by playing and learn by watching other streamers. That's kind of what I like to do. And here at this point, since my economy's been pretty much untouched, I'm going to the Imperial Age. I'm sorry, I'm going to the Castle Age here. Throwing down the King's Palace, which is another town center, so I can start really cranking out the villagers. Like I said, I probably could have been a lot more aggressive, but I'm not going to be winning any tournaments anytime soon, so I don't feel so bad. Yep. I'm housed again, aren't I? Oh, just threw one down. So now that I hit Castle Age, I throw down a few, or will very shortly throw down a few stables and start cranking out a few knights. Here I kind of get a few villager kills here, and he kind of moves his wood line over to here. Start to build another tower over here. For those new to the game, English get what's called the Network of Castles upgrade. So when their tower, town center, and castle sees enemies, kind of sets off the network of castles, and your longbowmen get slightly faster attacks. That's very helpful. It's a good defensive bonus as well as an offensive bonus. Yeah. There I go, I pop out a couple of stables, start pumping out knights, and I just forget about those villagers. So yeah. I have 8 villagers right now, which is obviously not ideal. So at this point, I am sitting at almost 60 villagers. Oh, he's down at 46. Starting to mass some longbows here. I've upgraded him to veterans. Now they do 9 attack. They have 1 armor from a blacksmith upgrade. These are still sitting on 6 attack, no armor. Because he is still in feudal age. So now I've kind of seen his 2 towers there, so I just figured I'm gonna take a different path. Start bringing my knights down here. I just, for whatever reason, foolishly sacrifice them. And I think at this point I've moved their rally point over here. And I do get a few. You do get a few archer kills there. Maybe not the right trade-off, but I don't think he quite realizes where I'm at right now. Still kind of goes after my tower there, which I don't really care about anymore. I've researched siege engineering, which allows my infantry to create rams on the field. And now that this tower is up, I can see he's got a lot of houses and a lot of villagers that are ripe for the taking. So I send my knights to pay a little visit to the villagers. Hey there, how you doing? That well, huh? Go after his houses, which are nice and neatly lined up in a row for me. Start knocking down those houses, you can't make any more reinforcements. I don't know if you ever drop down below that. But that was it. So yeah, that was my first ever Age of Empires, any Age of Empires competitive online game, and it was a victory. Well, I hope you enjoyed my first ever casting of a very average game.